This is Browny's Podcast!
Hey, welcome to Browny's Podcast. We got a big show. We're going to give you a blow-by-blow about what happened at our Christmas party at Crown. Dear God.
Did we survive?
Did we survive? Also, Dogs What a World involves a lot of cigarettes, and I cannot wait for it. Also, hey, but first of all, let's cover off a bit of footy. Gary Ablett Jr., the boots are back on.
How are you, boys? Finally, someone's giving back to our great game. Unlike Brown Dog, I'd expect that Gary Ablett Jr. turns up to Palmerston tonight, up in Darwin, against St Mary's, the powerhouse of the NT competition. And I'd expect him to contribute and probably dominate in the game, unlike yourself, Brown Dog, when you've gone out in the country and collected all that cash.
Yeah, well, I'd expect Gaz is playing for free tonight, isn't he? Or if he's not, he's putting it behind the bar.
Absolutely no chance he's playing
How much
for
would
free.
he get paid for this sort of gig, roughly?
I think he'll be getting 10,000
For a game?
cash.
Is it the going rate, is it?
Well, it was back in the day.
And do you declare that? Is that a declare
You
through the
always
ATO?
declare
job?
that,
Always
Brody.
do?
Always, yeah.
Pay your GST, goods and services tax, that is, Brody, for the uninformed.
You declare it buried in your
Yeah,
backyard
exactly.
in a plastic.
Yeah, no, it's good though. It'll be fantastic because their footy season is now, right? During our summer, not their wet season, so they'll get a packed house. They'll
it'd
see
be
one of the
huge.
greatest that have ever played the game.
Because he's been off the radar, really.
A little bit, hasn't
Since
he?
that grand final loss against the Tigers a couple of years ago, we haven't really seen him, have we?
No.
Getting around the traps. Obviously, he spent a fair bit of time family-wise, and I wouldn't expect he has to have a rerun like you did a couple of years ago in the country when you played so poorly. Bland, you then offered your services again the week after or weeks later for free.
Did you do it? The second one?
I was so poor that I offered my services a third
Third
time.
time. And they said no.
Yes.
We're fine.
Yes.
Thanks, but no thanks.
Yes, it's not the only footy news that's doing the rounds. Brisbane this week, or collectively over the off-season, JB, done a terrific job. Connor McKenna, the Irishman,
Best off-season of any club, I would have thought.
he's chosen Brisbane, so he's coming back to play footy again. Will Ashcroft, the number one draft pick, he's chosen Brisbane.
Gunston.
Gunston's gone there. Dunkley's gone there, and they get another father-son in Fletcher as well.
Jasper Fletcher.
That is 5 players that legitimately could be in their round one side.
They've upgraded the list, no doubt about it. They needed to. I didn't think they were a prelim calibre team last year, but definitely they're in the conversation now.
And this is the closest they would have been to a premiership since 2004. They have a legitimate contender side.
Absolutely, they do. And they needed to upgrade the midfield, no doubt about it. Will Ashcroft, he's a star. He actually watched some YouTube clips. I went out and interviewed him the other day. He's a big, strong lad for 18 years old, obviously son of Marcus. So he'll walk straight in, being compared to Sam Walsh, in a similar vein, the way he should be able to walk straight in and play round one. Dunkley, reigning best and fairest winner at the Western Bulldogs and premiership player. Gunston provides something different in the forward line. Even on a bad day, Gunston still kicks too. Unlike what Brisbane had. Sometimes the Brisbane forwards, having a bad day, they don't contribute at all on the scoreboard. So exciting times up there at the Lions, and Connor McKenna provides that much-needed run in the back half.
I tell you what I always enjoy, when you're starting to get drip-fed the interviews of some potential draftees. Now, there's a difference between us in the media comparing them to a player, like you just did with Ashcroft to Walsh. I love it when they compare themselves to someone.
Yeah.
And you can always tell the draftees that have got quite a high opinion of themselves.
Yeah.
I saw one the other day. They said, who do you play like? And he looked straight down the barrel and he was standing next to his old man. He said, look, I'd like to think that I'm a cross between Marcus Bontempelli and Paddy Cripps. And even the old man sort of went and looked at him and went, "F***ing yourself."
Did he eyeball the camera as
He
he said
eyeballed
it?
the camera.
That's confidence.
That's always there, that vision. You don't understand the power because you're 18, you've never done an
Yeah.
interview before. That'll come up for the rest of his career.
It will, but it's like NBA
Good
confidence. I hate it when they get bland and go, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Blah, blah, blah. I like it. It. I'm Paddy Cripps. It's amazing.
Brilliant. Can't wait for the draft.
Did you ever compare yourself to anyone coming through the ranks, or were you compared to anyone?
No, there was no one like me, mate. No,
Oh, is that right?
Chris Mew?
I had, and this is not to say I was him, I had 2 players, posters on my wall, Tony Lockett and Dermot Brereton.
And
It
Lance
didn't
Whitner.
matter how they played. I wanted to be dirty like them.
You were nothing like them.
Nothing like that.
Apart from the tribunal records.
Exactly.
Yeah. You may have been compared to Glenn Archer.
No.
So he's a poor man's Glenn Archer coming through the ranks.
Hey, Christmas party. So last year we took a helicopter to, what was the one?
Mitchelton.
Mate, unbelievable. A helicopter, Dog, you're gambling in the air, swearing at your phone instead of looking at the view. That was always memorable
Shout
for me.
out to Jerry Ryan too, who's been effective in the floods.
Yeah,
Mitchell
man.
and Wine. They lost a lot of beautiful Indigenous art there. He's been a great supporter of that. Unfortunately, lost some of the good race horses. So all the best with getting back on track there.
This year we got a crown, which sounds a bit bogan, but we started at Nobu, and let me tell you, them little Wagyu tacos, you just put a whole one in your mouth. I've never had anything better.
They're unbelievable.
Jesus Christ. Broads, we got pretty cooked there. We covered a lot of world topics. That's right. A memorable moment from the lunch is when we Googled that Donald J. Trump is running for president again, and immediately Dog goes, raise your glasses to my man Donald J. Trump, you moron.
Well, I'm not sure it was the biggest roar because because last year we ended up at Nobu.
Yeah.
And when Brown Dog finally backed a winner and won all his money back, he lifted the roof off Nobu.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the bigger roar though. Was that last year or when he just found out that Donald Trump's
Mate.
running for president?
And then
I'm a DeSantis guy now, though.
Is that right? It's DeSantis,
right.
but it doesn't matter. Hey, we're at Nobu and we look across, and who spotted the great Brian Lara? Was it you?
I saw him. He had a fluoro yellow hat on, and having met him and got to know him quite well only the week
quite
before.
well.
Yeah.
Quite well.
We'll see.
At Flemington, when he came in and did an interview with us on SEN Track, I immediately identified him.
Handsome.
Mate, you rode SEN Track rode on the coattails of Brian Lara for that whole Melbourne Cup week.
Yep, a bit like the
It was
West Indian cricket team.
Mate, he was like he was one of the commentary team. He was referencing that match.
We did, and you didn't think it was him.
No, but we got confirmation. It was 100% Brian Lara. And then, Dog, the thing I love about you, man, you don't have 1% of shame in your whole body. So you're like, I know him well. I'm going to go see my friend Brian Lara. Now, you tell us how you think it went, and then we'll go.
I think it went pretty well. I disguised it as a trip to the toilet. I could have gone around the long way, but I decided to sort of go straight through close enough to his table.
Yeah.
And casually walked over.
Oh, yeah?
Looked and went, Brian,
Sure.
how are you, mate? And then when he acknowledged that it was Brian,
Yeah.
I immediately had Brody covered, who thought it wasn't even him.
Yes.
Right? And I said, mate, great to see you again. You know, Campbell, we met at SEN Track at the Birdcage. Good to see you. Don't want to disturb you. Enjoy your lunch. Off
Sure.
I went. So
Sure.
I thought it went
Okay.
as good as it could have.
So what we saw was a man that looked like he was missing a couple of chromosomes walk across to Brian Lara, act like he was an old friend, and Brian just like, cool, man. No, yeah, have a good day. Yeah, I'll see you later. That's what we saw. Brody?
He has no idea who you are. Fact.
Yeah. That's why I put out the phone. I showed him an old photo of us, right?
I saw
and
a
then he was like, of course I remember
He doesn't
that.
want to sit there while you go through your photo album to pick out some shitty photo, man.
No.
I saw a resistance.
Did
I saw
ya?
a resistance to the handshake, a resistance to the friendship, a resistance to have any association with you. This dishevelled figure that walked past and offered his friendship. What would you call it?
But, like I say, I come back to the table and you give me all this feedback, which is all great and honest. And then when we went to leave,
Yes.
who all of a sudden came up to me all sheepish, went, Brownie, can you introduce me to Brian Lara so we can get a photo? And I had to go over again and be like, you nuffies.
That was Brody.
And you go over and you're like loitering around his table, right?
Dog, you cowered away.
Like
You were
going to
leave.
sycophants,
You were
like
gonna-
a couple of groupies.
You were going to leave the restaurant. You cowered away, and it was
I
point
was going to
spent.
leave because I'd already met him. I'd know him. I didn't want to get a second photo in the space of a
Well,
week.
Brown Dog, you knew him so well that you even produced a photo where you took a photo with him last week just to show your fans, just
Exactly
for
right.
confirmation.
Yeah.
So, Brown Dog, you...
So I didn't need a second one, but you ushered me back in to give the photo a bit of authenticity,
Sure.
I think it
I
was.
thought he really would have embraced it then, when Brian Lara saw the photo.
Yeah.
He really embraced Brown Dog then, but he was nonplussed again when he
Brian
showed
would've-
evidence of
Brian
a
would have
photo.
looked at that photo and go, why do I give a shit that we took a photo?
Piss
Maybe.
off, you nuffy.
Maybe, but
Then.
you guys got a photo.
All right, then we're pretty lit by this stage. We're all quite cooked.
What about the avocado? Not the avocado. The avocado
With whiskey.
Affogato at the end.
Can we please click that up? That's your next magnificent moment. The avocado coffee we had.
Mate, the affogato.
You got hit in the head a lot, didn't you? You got hit in the head a lot.
Shut up. So I've got excuses for my mate. Unlike you. Have you got an excuse for your head?
No. Well,
Hey.
speaking of Brody's ups, let's go to our next adventure on the day. We were quite drunk and we go bowling.
Yeah.
Dog and I team up, PointsBet and JB team up. And on the way there, Brody's all like, oh man, I used to work at a bowling alley. I'm great.
Yeah, I get out of the way. We're all running for second. So I had a bit of confidence then that Brody was my partner. The first five ends, not the first five throws, the first five ends did not hit a pin.
Not a pin, BP.
Not a pin.
I was a little out of form.
A little out of form, mate. You were trying to spin it so much that it was spinning off.
Yeah, the alleys are not that
alley.
wide. You didn't have bumper bars.
And because he worked at a bowling alley, right? You can sit on a plane. It doesn't make you a pilot.
Great
mate.
point.
You know what I mean? Like, seriously.
That's a good point.
So we had the game won by the sixth frame, you'd safely
Done.
say.
Yeah.
Who was best, by the way? It doesn't matter, but...
Well, I was going well. I was keeping up with you two blokes, trying to keep my team in until my fingers are all munted. They can't fit in the bowling ball properly. I nearly ripped a tendon, nearly ripped that finger out.
Yeah.
So I had to give up and start throwing it double-handed.
Yeah.
Well, no, anyway, so you boys won the bowling.
Yeah,
did.
but
No, we did.
I don't want to hang on this, but you didn't mention who was best, sort of. On the day.
Actually, hang on a minute. I think Deano
Yeah,
was probably
right.
sixth.
Nice.
Yeah,
The last
well,
bowl. Remember?
Mate, not
you
bad.
were consistent.
Thank you, yeah.
You got like 7 spares.
Yeah, bowling's
through the
my life.
course of the
Well,
10.
you tidied up beautifully.
Very, very sharp.
Okay, so Dog and I win the first
So
challenge.
one zip up.
One zip up, and then Holy Moly Golf Course is just up the road from upstairs. And BP and JB team up again, obviously. We've got this
we're
big
gambling
rivalry
on
going.
this too.
We're gambling.
So, we're
50
trying
bucks
hard.
in.
We're trying hard.
$50 each. Winner takes all.
It was quite a close tussle. You guys magnificently won. Thanks to JB, let's be completely honest.
Yeah.
You got 2 hole-in-ones were
Now, you
magnificent.
fucking provided donuts, Brody
Right.
Pomeroy. I carried you.
Yeah.
Carried you, mate.
What did you
It's
expect,
like some of my teammates me last few years at the Lions.
But my favourite moment
Yeah.
was when, for no reason, essentially you teed up at the mini golf joint and you hit that old dude. You hit it off the wall. It bounced off the wall, hit the roof.
Context, he'd really that hole. So he was 4 shots in without getting past the first obstacle, and I could see him lose his mind.
Could you physically see the transformation?
I saw the
of it?
steam.
Your eyes were spinning. Stephen
Yeah.
May's seen those eyes start rolling before.
You smacked this ball so unreasonably
Oh,
hard.
I don't think so.
It hits what?
Well, bounced off a turtle and then hit the roof and then went all the way over to the other hole.
To a senior citizen.
Yeah, and I didn't have time. I don't think you need to yell 4 at a mini putt-putt joint, right? Is there any rules to it?
You probably do if you tried to elevate it, which you do. There's no doubt there was elevation. You swung it that hard, and there was a deliberate elevation of the ball. So that's why I got airborne, and it hit the bloke. It absolutely hit him. Hit him in the shoulder. Lucky it didn't hit him in the side of the head, and he had glasses on as well.
All right.
Anyway, he looked straight across. He saw who it was. He didn't say a f***ing word.
And, well, Dog wouldn't apologise.
Nah, absolutely
Refused
not.
to apologise.
Because that
which
guy-
I respect, by the way.
That guy shouldn't have been standing there, according to Dog.
Exactly
right. That's the thing.
That was his justification.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's a
Too
mini
close.
golf
No,
course.
it
Shouldn't
shouldn't
have
have
been
been
Too
standing
close
there.
to my backswing.
It's correct. So you guys win that one. We need a third challenge because we're even more drunk at this point, and we're
This
morons.
is the decider.
We thought Daytona might do it, so we go down to the arcade, no Daytona, and then thank God we see 2 giant-ass plastic horses. What was it called? Who even knows?
No
It was
idea.
a Gallop racer.
Gallop
Used to be
up
called
or
Gallop,
Giddy Up or
whatever.
something.
They were big horses, though. Remember the little ones? It used to be a time zone.
Yeah.
But this was next level. These are like proper riding Clydesdales.
You're going to hump them to go faster, right?
So being the 2 sort of owners of great horses here, you
Yeah.
know,
Oh, well, yeah.
Sacred Oath and
Well, Sacred
in the
Oath
boat.
ran on that day as well.
In the boat.
And we had a lot of money. In the Boat's a good horse. Sacred Oath is a shit horse. It ran last at another race at Doomben that day. But anyway, back to our horse
we
race.
jumped on, you and I, as the jockeys.
You got into what are the foot thingies called?
Stirrups.
In the stirrups. How would you describe these 2 old men at video games?
So bad. Campbell was truly making love to the plastic horse, which was really
Got to
unfortunate.
make love to something.
Correct.
My jockey started whipping my horse out of the barriers. So, you got the energy bar, and it went down. I had 400 metres to go, and all of a sudden I had no energy left. I couldn't stop my jock. It wasn't my fault.
You're a bad
He
jockey,
just
mate.
kept whipping.
You know what? The horse had no energy because he had a 105 kilo jockey on him.
Yeah, he did too, in fairness. Well, how much you weigh? Mate, you're not exactly a lightweight.
Dog wins by 10 metres.
I
We
won.
win all that cash.
That's it, baby.
Well done, brother.
Yeah. So then where do we go? We decide we got to go.
You boys were so keen to go to the mahogany room. So
You guys are trying to suck on my vape, which
little pineapple vape.
do we want to
Vape.
mention that on the podcast?
Was it
Probably not.
Mambo?
Yeah, all good.
And then we went down to the mahogany room because you boys were keen. So Brody and Deano hadn't been in the mahogany room
You forget,
before.
this is unusual for us.
It's mystical. It's a mystical place. A lot of people think they're going in to see beautiful mahogany floorboards and beautiful mahogany furniture.
With James Bond-like characters
That's right.
with chicks on their arms and smoke in the air. That's what we thought the mahog
It's
was.
named after the horse, you idiot.
Yes.
Lloyd Williams, who started Crown Casino, he owned Mahogany, the great horse won a Victoria Derby, multiple Group 1 winner ridden by Greg Hall. It's named after the horse.
But when you get up there, it's like a shopping centre lighting. It's all open. There's no prestige to it. I'll never take
It's
it back.
tight security, very tight
Well,
security.
high rollers, mate. You know, there's
how-
a lot of money goes through.
Show
that.
some respect. So you go to like a reception, a lounge, because we're guests.
Yeah.
And I'll ring me man Roscoe. So Roscoe,
Gotta be on the door.
A bit of a treat. We just show the boys through the mahogany room? We'll be very civil. We'll have a drink. We'll have a bet. All that sort of stuff. So anyway, we obviously have to bring our licence or our passport. A hard ID, if you will. So we check. We get to Brown Dog. You're fine to go. Points bet. He's fine to go. JB's right to go.
Campbell took his Met card out. Remember that? His Mikey. And he goes, oh, there you go, mate.
Actually,
Why would you delete that?
I grabbed the wrong one.
That couldn't have been. That was the biggest dad joke of the day.
It's the biggest day joke of the day. And
What's your
that-
name, Matt? Ahmet.
I mean, he loves
Shit
that.
joke. It was such a shit joke. It got us off on the wrong foot with Kerry.
Did.
It was, she was magnificent. She was very patient with us all.
You
And
guys
then
are square.
We go through.
You guys are through, all through. And just as Dino's about to walk through, she goes, actually, Dean Thomas, there's a problem. What's that? Your licence expired 6 months ago.
You've been driving around this great state unlicensed for
Hit someone.
6 months.
That's legal trouble, right?
by
100%.
accident.
100%.
So she was hard. Kerry was hard on it, so you
Had to
couldn't go
be.
through with an expired licence. So Dino's in the reception of the mahogany room, trying to get onto the Vic Roads website.
Forgot my password.
Forgot his password. He's trying-
And did you end up paying for your licence?
No, well, actually, it was paid. I've just got the old one in my wallet.
I tell you what, they've really cracked down Crown, after the most recent Royal Commission, because you could have walked straight through there with a federal warrant and they would have ushered you up back in the day. But
Really?
now you can't even get through with a
An expired licence.
We get up there, we're on the tables. John, you're having bad luck at blackjack, man.
Oh, jeez, I got cleaned up real quick in blackjack.
Geez, there's some real dodgy fruit grocery dudes there, weren't there? They were like,
No.
Hey, take that
Excuse
back.
They were
me.
absolute-
Frank is a great man.
Hey,
What do you think?
mate, what are you talking about?
Mate, they rocked
I'm
up with
from
all-
I'm from a fruiting family.
mate, they were cleaning their cash. That's
You
a
son
fact.
of a bitch,
They-
points.
No, you can't say that. That's going to have to be cut out.
No.
Just take that back.
can't.
Unless you want to edit this, you take that back and say
You-
Frank's
You
an
walk
honest
through
man.
the markets, the early morning markets, and say that and see how far you get.
Anyway, Frank's taking us under his
We
wing.
may be at your funeral next week.
Frankie loved us, the fruit and veg guy.
Mate, it was the best.
He was made of money. And even when
Although
these
we weren't
guys
supposed to mention him, his wife said, he said don't mention in case his wife listen to Brownie's podcast.
dropped it 11 times.
Yeah, that's all right. Frank won't
Yeah,
mind.
Frank Costa.
When these guys win,
Far
these
away, Frank.
high rollers, they just get angry that they didn't put more down.
Yeah.
Like, there's no celebration about winning heaps of money. They're just like, oh, I should have loaded up more. Where's the fun bit?
Frank didn't appreciate the big wins.
Where's the fun,
Didn't
Doc?
Well, I think the mindset of a gambler is that when you do win, you get frustrated that you didn't win more.
Okay,
And
yeah.
hence
Yeah.
the next bet and so on and so on. And
Yeah, makes sense.
Life unravels and you lose everything and...
Brody and I, we're like Turtle from Entourage around you two. People see
Yeah.
we're your friends and they come to us to try and impress us.
Yeah.
This guy, Craig,
Stop using their real names.
No, it's not Craig, so I'll call him Craig.
Oh, okay.
He started banging on, dropping names. I met Kim Kardashian over there, blah, blah, blah.
Oh,
He
yeah,
goes,
no.
yeah, I'll get you a drink, boys. What do you want? And I go, Johnny Blue on the rocks.
Mate, they had to open a brand new bottle of Johnny Blue for Deano.
Jeez.
And this poor fella, like, there's free beers in there, but I think these poor fellas had to shell out
Yes.
for the Johnny Walker Blues.
Were they free beers, were they? I was wondering why Brody was so generous.
No
He kept
shit.
coming back
Yeah,
with
he
beers. I
was.
thought, only put his hand in his pocket.
Anyway, we all gather around because you had this multi on and you're like, Sacred Oath's going to win. Load up, boys. So Jonathan and I loaded up. I
know.
put $150 down.
I apologise.
Brody was vehemently against
He
it.
backed something else in the race, just in
Yes.
spite of me.
Name one.
And his horse won and yours didn't place.
Did it win, bro?
Yeah, mate. How sick is this
I
guy?
love that.
No, you're two-faced.
I know.
No.
To Brody's credit, he didn't gloat at the time
Nah,
because
that
he
was
knew
good.
we were all
Yeah,
furious.
If he cheered at home, I
Yeah.
would have been even more frustrated.
Well, he'd been
but-
threatening me all day, so I was like, he's going to lash out at some point.
Yeah,
here.
anyway, it was a great day. Thanks, John,
Yeah,
for
man.
organising that.
On the way out too, you might have got. This is after exiting the mahogany room.
yeah.
Dino was propositioned by.
Someone in there, they said, well, why are you going? Do you want to sharpen up? What do you reckon that means?
Oh, my God.
Come with me for a sharpen up.
And he's like, I got some friends upstairs that I'd like you to meet, which was a lot.
did he?
That's
Which
not
was a
wrong.
lot.
That means flat out coke and hookers.
Does it?
Does.
What else does it mean?
I'd already left. I was making my way to the Regent Theatre because I was going to Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. So that sort of untoward behaviour,
Yeah.
I wasn't around to see.
So, how did Croft go?
I thought he was fantastic. He doesn't come in until the second stanza. Is that what you call it in theatre?
When Croft got this role, a lot of theatre people and were upset that he got cast
He's
because
a pharaoh.
Yeah, a lot
How
of
did they say it again?
oh Jesus, he's not even a real actor. But you know, I can understand. I got theatre mates. I can understand why
Do
they'd
ya?
be pissed
Well,
off.
they're really protective of their theatre
Well,
buddies.
no, they're just like, I wanted that job, and this ex-footy guy got a job. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so Croft got this role. Big, all eyes on him on
Who's
opening
good?
night.
Paulini, she's the main singer,
on.
right? She sings. And
I'm a big poor lady man.
I didn't
a
know
big
what to
poor
expect,
lady man.
but I
expect
thought
that from you.
an untrained theatre eye, and I've seen Hamilton this year, so I've been.
Actually, didn't Poor Lady drive without a license?
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Did
I
you
love
see
that
how
for
they
Poor
do
Lady.
it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought he was good.
Yeah.
You know, he was very nervous. I spoke to him pre-show, and it was a big moment for him.
Yeah.
So he was nervous, but he came out and sang and
Right.
danced. And
How
he
did you
was
feel after? Because you saw him for a drink.
relieved.
Yep.
Relieved, and
Yep.
obviously he'll get better and better as he relaxes into the role. But
Yeah.
I
How
thought.
long
I
did he
thought-
go for the performance? His
goes
performance.
so the show goes for 2 hours. He's got about a 7 or 8 minute like little period
Singing,
where
dancing.
he's the main person.
Yeah. Is he sing?
He sings. The Pharaoh is like a bit of an Elvis impersonation.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing all that.
Yeah.
He's doing the hip thrust and everything. But I thought he was really good. And it takes so much guts to step out of your comfort zone
Yeah.
and do something publicly like that.
Like your busking, which we'll get to.
Yeah, it's great. Well, your critique's similar to Nui Takawa's. Our own Nui Takawa, who's the critic of for the Herald Sun.
Right.
He was quite warm in his praise. He made the most of the material and brought his natural charisma and broad likability to the role.
Why was
I reckon that's. He said he even declared the Hawthorn great's voice easily hit the money on the song.
Yeah, no, he was good.
So what Dick wrote, footy show hosts crushingly bad play debut.
Yeah, well, that was
Some mean people out there,
That
mate.
was that's Guardian's Tim Byrne. He said disappointing doesn't begin to
Q-Tim.
but it doesn't begin to cover in a production where every performer is at the top of their game. Crawford's blundering, tone-deaf turn as the Pharaoh is crushingly bad.
That's very mean.
Well, that's
very
mean. And then
Clickbait.
the other guy said, absolutely clear. Then Cameron Woodhead said, "Where was Red Simons with the gong when you needed it?"
No, that's rough.
It was like his first game, right? As a youngster, you're not going to be the best performer.
No, but Doug, you trained for months. But did it feel like you
was
were
good.
watching a school play when Croft came out?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. But I'm an untrained theatre guy, so
Yeah.
you need to see hundreds to pick stuff out. But you know what? I thought it was good. I thought it was great.
Back in a second. Welcome back to Brownie's podcast. A big water world coming up later involving this insane marathon story. BP, what do you got?
Well, Campbell, we tasked you with making it up to us for missing our podcast party earlier in the year, right? And we said, to make it up to us, you need to go and perform. You need to busk. So we got your licence, busk in the city of Melbourne. And so we went down to Parliament steps, and you said, all right, I'll go there and I'll perform for about, half an hour?
Yeah, it was. And I was there on time. And again, you were late because you went to the Treasury building, you f***ing idiot.
Yeah, that'll happen. That'll happen. But so you said, all right. And you brought a guitar, which, frankly, you can't play.
Well, I'll let the listeners be the judge of that.
So his first song was Mr. Jones.
But as we said just about Croft then, it takes a lot of courage and commitment for someone
the man in the arena
to step out
And delusion.
of their comfort zones. Do you think I wanted to be on the steps of Parliament House doing this? Absolutely not, but I had my busker's licence and I was going to give it my best shot.
Here's Dog playing Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones and me, we stare into the fairy tales, and I stare at the beautiful women. Is she looking at you? I don't think so. She's looking at me, smiling in the bright lights. I call myself a great guitar and I play Mr. Jones and me. Woo.
After that, mate, your next one was potentially even worse. You went for Fuel Shimmer.
Yeah, nice song that one. Which guys me from the cold, I thought with some of the... You got to look around the people that are walking by and listening to.
Yeah.
And a couple of tradies sort of came by.
Hey, Dom.
So I changed tack a bit to a song that I thought would have been part of their childhood.
Sure.
All right, next song, one of my old favourites. It's Fuel by Shimmer. Come on, let's hear me sing it. She swings his rampage train. Stories are right, it's written on the paper. You can spare $1. Be nice, it's been a tough carnival. You can spare $1, boys.
Stunning. Absolutely stunning. Hey, Dog,
Before stage starting to get some reception. People are walking past, starting to take a bit of notice.
They're walking past. I wouldn't say that they were hanging around for the exquisite voice.
The street's not as busy. The city street's not as busy as it was pre-COVID.
What time of day?
Lunch.
This was
11 o'clock, yeah.
All right, just before we get to the next grab, what sort of vocal range are you working with? For example, can you give me a low?
How many
a low
octaves
note?
you got?
Me, 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 me.
Take it up for a walk.
Me, 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 me.
Hey, the roof's high, my man.
La, 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 la.
Just one more.
You tried to channel John Stevens' Noise Works
One
with
of
Take Me
my
Back.
favourites.
Great song.
You're damn right I did.
It could have been.
You got a bit
It
of
could
John
have gone
Stevens
worse.
about here as well.
It actually could not have gone worse.
All right, little favourite of mine, Take Me Back. Good on you, boys. Thanks very much. Appreciate the generosity. So take a step backwards for a little while and find today something that I can't explain. So I'll remain trapped inside the holding on. We're holding strong to you.
Wow. Again, bravery, delusion, a lot of things. I'm feeling a lot. What now, bro?
A couple of coppers started
What?
to loiter around
Yeah.
the steps. It was getting close to Remembrance Day.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if they were there for a reason.
Were those coppers, were their hands hovering over their weapons?
They were certainly taking a keen interest as to
Sure.
what was unfolding
The
on the
guns
steps
were
of
drawn
Parliament House.
at this stage after that last performance.
So some elderly ladies and stuff sort of came around and started to sit on the steps. So I thought I'd, again, look at the crowd and pick a really appropriate song for them.
At this stage, how much money is in the cap?
Still none.
Okay.
Still none. I did realise that the people of Melbourne are quite tight. So I was going to keep performing until I got some money.
You told them to go themselves, actually.
Well, yeah, you're damn right I did. Because we're all doing it tough. Tell you what, people in Melbourne are tight asses. Can't spare more than 5 Just give me a spell.
Is there something that you're searching for? Falling. And in the bad times I find myself, I'm longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself. Tell me something, boy. How you try to fill that void? Or do you need more? Is there to something that's been so hardcore. I'm falling. And on the good times I find myself, I'm longing for change. Out on the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never reach the where they can't hurt. We'll go for the shallow now. Thank you, sir. Your generosity is appreciated. It's my first bit of money.
So guitar-wise, what's happening, Broads?
He's just kind of banging it and like stringing it relentlessly. With
There's a lot of banging
There's no.
going
He
on.
doesn't know how to play guitar.
I was playing it like Angus from AC/DC.
Oh, okay, that's one way of looking at it.
Oh, yeah, normally you strum the actual strings. You don't bang it. It's
I was like
it's not a drum kit.
The Edge in U2.
Very similar, yeah.
Wouldn't have
I was,
thought so. At this stage, the
I was
coppers.
like
went
Richie
over to-
Samboro in Bon Jovi.
Sambora, yes.
I went over to have a chat to the coppers, and frustratingly for me, I said, "When's the arrest going to come?" Because we're on a tight timeline, and they said, "No, we're actually starting to enjoy this. We're going to let him go, provided he's got a permit," which he did
I
have.
had to show the permit, and I thought, I'm going to finish now. I've got my 5 cents.
Yeah.
I've ticked it off. I've achieved some money. I'm going to finish with an Australian classic. And there's only 2 men you can go to. It's either Johnny Farnham or it's Jimmy
Rolf
Barnes.
Harris. Oh. Right.
Yeah, I didn't have a wiggle board. I apologise.
Wobble board.
Well, he loved a little woman. Someday it'll make his wife. Saving all the overtime for the one love of his life. And worried about tomorrow, 'cause he just made up his mind. Life's too short for burning bridges. Take it one day at a time. Whoa, he's a working class man.
You took on working class man. Bravery.
Yeah.
Bravery.
Got to have a gravelly voice.
How do you think this went overall, Broads?
Truly appalling.
Okay, cool. man.
Truly appalling.
Worth it?
No.
Okay, great.
And we did some investigations on where the 5 cents came from. It was Dog's mate.
Yeah, it was.
He implanted him.
I had to.
Mate, he implanted him. You would have thought he could have brought more than 5 cents.
Well, he's a stockbroker from Collins Street, so the fact
Things
that he
been
threw
tough.
5 cents in there, mate, we've got a global recession
He
on our
might have
hands.
bought Acker's crypto.
Back in a second. Hey, welcome back to Brownie's podcast.
All I've loved about this week is the Childish Deano's episodes, Childish Deano episodes that have been dropping. So get them on TikTok, YouTube, wherever. Deano, you're a magnificent creator, young man.
Thanks, man.
It is the new age, this century South Park, no doubt about it. There's 6 episodes. They go for about 4 or 5 minutes each. It's really about your childhood, isn't it?
Brother,
In
yeah, it's all
animation.
inspired by my sort of broke childhood, but like I was just a little pistol. I just had a lot of fun. I
Yeah.
didn't- But anyway.
Awesome.
You got a lot of colourful characters in your life and some in prison.
But it went amazingly. Like I'm so thankful for you guys' support, Dog. Thanks for watching and
No,
Broads.
my pleasure,
Hey,
mate.
we had a premiere. We had an opening the other night down at Lido Cinemas in Hawthorne. There was a full crowd, about 50 people turned up. And it was free drinks.
Yeah, boy.
Like, I'm going, how good's this?
Oh, yeah,
Dano's
I'd love to have
flying.
attended the premiere.
I'm sorry, Dog.
There's no room for you, mate.
But if you want to check it out, it's at Childish Deano on Instagram. Hit it up. Thanks a lot for the love, boys.
No,
Really
mate,
appreciate it.
it's absolutely brilliant. I know that it's been a long process to get where
man.
you want, so it doesn't just happen overnight.
And you've amassed over 1 million views on TikTok?
Yeah, up to like over 1.5. So it's pretty sick,
crazy.
man. And like people are commenting, saying nice shit,
Well,
quoting it.
Hamish Blake said yesterday that
Yeah,
he
he
wants
did.
to go on the next series.
Man, how good.
So surely there'll be another series of Childish Deano.
I hope so.
Serious question: have any girls slid into your DMs and want like a Childish Deano groupie
Like
session?
a date with a child.
No, like you. Like have you
Ding dong.
have
She's
you hit
been
up?
creeping
Have
in
you been
there.
hit up at all?
No.
You're now a TikTok sensation.
But that's what I hope. That's why I'm making this.
Oh, no shit, of course. Right?
If there was someone in Australia to slide into your DMs,
Yeah, great
who would it be?
question.
So it comes to the top of your mind.
Carrie Ann Kennelly.
Yeah. Cack strong.
Really?
Still got it.
You know? What now?
Carrie
Sick,
Ann.
sick man. What a world!
Yes.
Now, this came across my desk during the week. A Chinese man, Uncle Chen, they call him.
Jenny.
Yeah.
He consistently runs marathons, which is great. Keeps nice and fit. The only thing different with Uncle Chen is he did the marathon, which was in Zhejiang province in Jindi, China, and he's a chain smoker. He had 18 cigarettes from start to finish, right? 18. He did not have a cigarette out of his mouth. He had people handing them to him the whole way along, right?
It's a great effort.
He ran 574th out of the 1,500 competitors. Now, as a man that's done a marathon himself, I know how hard it is. Physically, mentally, aerobically.
Well, you
know,
did
you
yours
need
on
your
ice
lungs.
in Antarctica.
I did, which was a little bit harder, but he ran 3 hours and 28 minutes, right? Which
That
is
is
really
amazing.
good time. I know that Kane Corns.
I only did 3:14.
3:14.
And I was going hammer and tongs. I know my ass fell out.
How many darts did you have in yours? No.
No darts.
No,
so you could have smoked a dart out of my ass when I was reconstructed the next week. But it was unbelievable because you think the amount of times, the pace that he would have lost, Brown Dog, in that 3:28 to light up darts every time.
Yeah.
You actually look at that, time adjusted, he would have broke 3 hours.
And the fantastic thing is, right, he did a marathon in 2018 in 3 hours and 36. He did one in 19 in 3 hours and 34. So this motherfucker is smoking more than ever before and he's shaving time off his marathon. So good on you, Uncle Chen. That's
Chenny.
It's defied logic.
If his lungs can obviously take it. So do you reckon he's getting that nicotine buzz? That's his fuel? Do you reckon that's what it
Well,
is?
you're taking the pain away, you reckon?
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a good point.
It is a good
Also,
point.
where does he keep the deck of cards?
In his sock.
Okay.
Yeah, in his
Right
sock.
on. And the lighter? In the sock?
Yeah, also in the sock.
It's a good lesson
Because
for
it'll
our
be-
younger listeners. Smoking's good.
Well, it'd be illegal too to have a carrier, like to have someone running beside you and lighting him up, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Because you're not allowed to touch anyone.
Do you know
during
who
the
I
marathon.
miss? The smoking baby. Remember the smoking
Yeah,
baby?
I think
Yeah, I
Uncle
did like that.
Chen.
That was poor
is
parenting.
I think Uncle Chen is his uncle.
So naturally, there were some people were upset with Uncle Chen. You know, think about the smoke, the other runners around you.
That's
that are
a good
inhaling
point,
it.
man.
There are currently no rules prohibiting marathon runners from smoking cigarettes while they compete. So while that is in place, carry on, my son.
Hey, thanks for listening. We love you. Back next week.